Headline from Forbes magazine. Bosses are winning the battle to get workers back to the office. I'm already irritated. I'm going to talk about this in a second, but the fact that we're calling it a battle, the word war is used in this, really pisses me off. And I'm going to stay calm, but I'm going to cover this. This is part of the problem. Okay? This is part of the problem with the leadership in our world today. Leaders are allowing themselves through stupid actions, through a lack of awareness, and sometimes through intentional power plays to position themselves as a us against you to the American worker and around the world. More on that in a second. But first to the data. In the first week following Labor Day, office usage in 10 major metro areas neared 50% of 2020's pre-pandemic attendance. This is from Castle System, a key card property management company. They track entries into the office buildings. Now, Castle's data does not include many of the city's biggest real estate owners, including large law firms, banks, financial services, Wall Street firms. This is all New York City. Okay, so they're using New York as kind of the test case here. Okay. The Partnership for New York City, a business industry trade group, surveyed more than 160 major Manhattan office employers between August 29 and September 12. And what they found is 49% of Manhattan office workers are currently at the workplace on an average weekday. Now, that's up 38% since April. Incidentally, this is good news for those of us who still like to go to New York to see Broadway plays or be a tourist. Because I was up there about a year and a half ago doing some media for Fox News. At all my little restaurants and places I like to haunt, they were closed. I was very irritated. First world problems. So more workers coming back into the office means that more places are going to be open. That's good. It's called capitalism. The number of fully remote workers fell from 28% in April to 16%. So what does that mean? A lot of people are heading back into the office in New York. Apparently, they want to see people, and they're tired of wearing their sweatpants. I don't know. Also, 200,000 passengers rode the Long Island Railroad into Manhattan post-Labor Day weekend. That's the highest level of riders since March 2020. Great news. Now, if the mayor and the leadership of New York could protect people, that'd be nice. That's a separate article. The Partnership for New York City predicts that there will ultimately be a tipping point when a majority return to the office. This is great. I think this is great news. This is good for humans. According to the partnership's analysis, 54% of workers will ultimately return to an office setting by January 2023. Wow. A study conducted by the Society for Human Resource Management found that supervisors had negative perceptions of the work from home trend, and they prefer their staff to operate from an office setting. So I gave you the data about what's happening. Now, folks, those of you who really want to work from home, you need to pay attention. And I am not judging you. I am not trying to push you. I am trying to inform you. And I said on this show that I was not certain, but that I felt confident that this trend would happen. I said it, and now it's happening. Now, that means that real perceptions exist. Let's keep going. 62% of leaders contend that full-time remote work is detrimental to employee career objectives. You say, well, kid, I don't care what they think. Well, great. You can not care all you want to, but this is what they think. And I'm telling you, out of sight, out of mind, right? You're trying to compete. And I remind you every day on the show that you were in a competition. You were competing against the you of yesterday, and you're competing against other people. And let me just tell you right now, as a guy who loves to coach sports, and I consider myself a coach, if you're at practice, I'm going to play you. If you ain't at practice, I'm sitting your butt on the bench. That's not fair. Everybody should get a chance. That's not how the world works, because life, dear Buttercup, is not fair. It's not fair. The dominant style of work now. Oh, by the way, one other piece of data, 72% of those leaders said they prefer all their workers to be working in the office. No surprise here. The dominant style of work now is hybrid work. And if you're not familiar with that term, hybrid work means 2 or 3 days in, the office, and then you can work wherever you want to work outside. And I think that's going to be, I believe, the predominant style of work going forward. So many surveys over the last year or so show that employees adamantly responded they would rather quit than commute to the office. Well, great, quit. But now this job economy is beginning to show a little bit of wobbliness. It's still very hot, but we're getting to see more layoffs and things. And depending on interest rates, and if this baby, and I think it's an eensy-weensy-teensy recession, if it continues to grow, it could affect layoffs. So I don't know if you'll be able to. And there are great benefits to returning to the office. Here's what I want you to hear. One word. If you're in the office, you are going to benefit from connection. Relationship with your coworkers, to have that human connectedness that we all crave and need. You're going to be able to connect with your leader face-to-face, be able to develop a relationship there, get real-life coaching and mentoring if they're a healthy leader. And third, you're going to be around the office, and you're going to be more aware of opportunities to see things, to another rung on the ladder to climb. This is pretty common sense stuff. Now, bosses, this is Fortune magazine again, bosses giving up return to office fight have found another way to win, tracking their remote workers' every move. They are tracking things like software, how much time they're on the computer, how many keyboard pauses and strokes. Folks, I've told you before, this is bad bossery. This is nannyship. It's like me and Stacey monitoring our kids when they were toddlers. They're supposed to be sleeping, and I'm watching them on video. What are we doing here? Direct quote from a guy quoted in this article, Paul Wartenberg. If we're going to give up on bringing people back to the office, we're not going to give up on managing productivity. You dolt. You're an idiot. You're trying to measure keystrokes? This nannyship is about activity, not results. See, a real leader says, here's what I expect from you. Here are the results that I want you to produce. Go produce them. I don't care how you do them. Get them done. I don't care when you do them. Get them done. And this is going to continue to create a divide among leaders and workers.